It's gonna be a good day, and everything is going to go my way. It's gonna be a good day. The sun is shining bright and it's here to stay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our live stream. Give me one moment. My computer, of course, decided to go to sleep because we were talking earlier. So we're live on from the GayPHX studio in Phoenix, and we're streaming out to the internet. I'm Billy Foster holding down the fort, while our friends from AML are out there in Chicago, remoting in from the leather capital of the world, at least for this weekend. They're at IML. Tonight we're connecting you with some exclusive interviews, so get comfy and say hey in the comments. We've got Earl Grey, Brit, Zane, Dennis Daniels, and Clough, the IML Tally Master. Howdy, everybody. Oh, hang on. Let me try that again. All right. Howdy once again. Sorry, I had you muted because I had the intro going.
Well, we heard us. So.
Yes.
Hey, Billy.
So how is everybody's IML going so far?
Awesome.
Is that where we are?
So Dennis, what's happened so far? What you opening ceremonies? Today was the first day. What happened for you guys? What did you go through?
Well, the opening ceremonies were actually on Thursday evening, and then yesterday I had my interview. Half of the groups went in the morning for interviews, and then last night we had our PHX and personality competition with all of us on stage, and then today they did the second half of the interview in the morning, and this evening we don't have nothing to do except pack and get ready for tomorrow. Because we have to meet up at 11:30. Yep, have to meet up tomorrow morning at 11:30 to get to the theater, and then we are at the theater all day until the show's over, and we have a new Mr. IML.
Excellent.
So that's the plan.
And Britt, did you have your interview today, or is yours tomorrow?
I wound up getting number 64, so I was very tail end of the group. There's 68 in the class, so I was near the end. And yeah, we got finished probably about 4 o'clock this afternoon. And the judges were awesome. They were all very nice. They didn't have any gotcha trick questions like we were prepared in all of the mock interviews that most of us have done. So I'm very glad that for a change I didn't study something. I didn't have to waste that time.
My interview went well. I think it was, it started out and they asked questions for my application and just a little bit more about me and before you knew it, it was done. Like it was only 8 minutes, but I swear it was only a minute and a half.
So it went by that quick. Wow.
Yeah, I was lucky. I was in the second group, so like I got to go the very next morning and was done with that, and that stress taken away from everything.
Nice.
Yeah, we were actually in the same group. That was nice.
So much has happened since yesterday.
I know.
Now, Clough, can you tell us the basics? What does it that the Tally Master does at IML?
So there's 2 of us. My fellow Tally Master Omar is having fun right now. But what our job is to do is take the judges' scores, and we enter them into our system. And between the 2 of us, we make sure that the counts are accurate. And at the end, like today, for instance, we tallied up all the scores from the 2 major events. So the PHX and personalities, and then the interviews, and that gives us a score. And from that score, we determine who the top 20 is. Top 20 will be announced at tomorrow's contest.
So he knows now, though.
Maybe.
Oh.
You know now.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think we're here.
Well, can we turn off the mic and the camera for about 20 seconds?
But no pressure.
No pressure.
It is kind of amusing because there are a small number of people who do know the top 20 going into tomorrow, and it's kind of like, I got a secret.
And so what does a typical day look like for you? Are you tucked away in a corner, or are you out there?
It's a
watching
little
everything
weird
too?
for us because we're not quite as involved directly like the judges are. Like the judges are doing 8 hours of interviews on the first day, and then the second day they're doing 8 hours of interviews, and then the PHX and personality they're part of the contest. So it's a long day for them.
Yeah.
For us, we're sequestered. We're not in the room with the judges. We just basically show up at the end. They give us papers, and then we do our job. So I joke that I got the easy job, count numbers, but it's actually an honor because it is kind of an important job, and so the fact that I got asked twice now is really meaningful to me.
And how do you get involved in a role like that?
So there is a gentleman by the name of Billy Lane, and he is one of the people in my life when he asks me to do something, I have a hard time saying no. And we've worked together in a couple other clubs, a couple other committees where we've been on together, and so we generally work well. But from what I understand, his biggest thing was trying to find people from all different walks of the leather lifestyle to be involved in the contest, because we all have different history, we all come from a different place, but we also come to the same place, and that is here.
And what do you do to make sure the results stay confidential?
We have bring security guards left or up. No, just we have a lot of sealed envelopes, a lot of 4-eye principle. So there's always 2 of us, at least 2 of us when we're processing the numbers. Usually there's 3, because there's always an executive of IML kind of overshadowing watching our numbers.
There's also the armed guard that he had over there.
You're not supposed to mention him.
That's the secret part.
Armored, not armored. Heavy leather.
What's the biggest challenge of tallying a contest like this, as massive as IML?
You know what? Last year, when it was my first year, it was a little daunting because it is a responsibility. But now that it's my second year and I've worked with Omar 2 years now, we generally have the process down. Every now and again, we'll find. Actually, you know what? The biggest challenge is reading some judges' handwriting.
I was going to say.
And we actually have a sample of all their handwriting, so we can compare numbers. And even still, it's like, what is that number? And then we become handwriting analysts, right? And like, okay, judging from this number, now we know what that is. That's an 8. That's a 9.
Do you ever have to go back to the judges and say, "What did you write down here?"
That's never happened to me, but I've heard in the past it has happened.
Okay. What does being a part of something like IML and the leather community mean to you personally?
Oh boy. We actually had this conversation at dinner earlier. I spent an awful lot of my life being on the outside, being almost invisible. I grew up in a very German Portuguese town, and where there not a lot of Asian families there, and it took me a while. I tried to find my group here and there, different places, and I never fit in until I found the leather community. And one of my biggest things is, I tell everyone, my biggest thing is helping people find their kink, and develop their kink, and thrive in it. And that's my way of giving back to the community. And they asked me to do something like IML. Again, it's another way for me to give back to the community. That's given me so much.
So you've done the Tally Master for the last 2 years. Has there been any emotional or unforgettable moments?
So I'm allowed to say this. Last year, there was a tie for first place, and that's the first time in IML history that's ever happened.
Oh, wow.
And so because it never happened, we didn't know they immediately know the process for breaking that tie. Fortunately, it is Olympic scoring, so you just add in the low score and the high score back in, and that's the first tiebreaker. I don't remember the second step off the top of my head, And then the third step, if there's still a tie, is we go back to the judges. So I will say that that moment where we both looked at each other going, there's a tie. Well, now what do we do? Was kind of nerve-wracking. And then Omar was the experienced tally master, and he made me, the rookie, write the names in the envelope. And my hands were shaking so bad.
Oh no!
And we didn't want to
Wow.
screw up the envelopes because years ago there was an incident where the wrong envelope, the wrong name went in the wrong envelope. Fortunately, it wasn't for the winner, but it was for the runners-up. So all weekend long last year, it was, and the Oscar goes to La La Land, or Miss Universe is, all weekend long. So we joked about that, but that was a bit nerve-wracking.
So
But very memorable.
it certainly sounds like it. Without giving any secrets, can you explain how the scoring system works, or is that public knowledge?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, no, this is public knowledge because the scoring system is on the website. It is it's Olympic scoring. So of the 9 judges, once we take their numbers into account, our system automatically drops the highest and the lowest score, and so we do it by the mid-7. And then I don't specifically remember the weights. Each category is worth a certain number of maximum points. So the interviews are the biggest chunk. The physique and stage presence is the next chunk. It's the second chunk, and a little smaller. And then once we get that total number, we determine the top 20.
Very cool. And then what happens with the top 20?
So that'll be announced at pretty much the beginning of the contest tomorrow night. The top 20 goes on stage and they move on to the next round. The next round includes, I don't remember.
Maximum personality too.
There's a stock strap. There is the
Formal leather,
and then the big one, the speech. And then so there's 3 more rounds of judging there, and then we tabulate the scores live.
Is that nerve-wracking doing it live versus getting the moment to, or
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And for
Sit
people
off in the corner and everyone's there.
Yes, exactly.
for folks that are watching that might be interested in volunteering or trying to be involved more in leather events, what do you recommend to them?
Every little bit counts. So when you go to an event and they're asking for volunteers, even if you're doing things like door security, even if you're doing things like as a runner, just moving stuff around, every little bit helps. And this is a huge event. There's hundreds of volunteers running this. Every little bit makes a difference, honestly. And you never know. I did little things at other events, and now I'm telling that from IML.
And what keeps you coming back to IML year after year?
The brotherhood, the community.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Well, let's turn our attention over to some of our contestants over here. And let's see here. Dennis, let's start with you. You did your interview. So I guess all 3 of you are waiting just for the top 20. So that's where we're at. We're in the holding pattern, right?
We are absolutely in suspended animation. We're just able to relax and enjoy ourselves and buddy around, go to the Leather Mart and all that kind of stuff now that that's done. And again, by 11:30 tomorrow, we got to pack together and head back to the theater. But right now, we're just hanging being brothers. Like we just came back to the theater. It was great. We got a great dinner together.
3 words to explain how you're feeling right now. You first, Dennis.
Oh my goodness. Those aren't my 3 words. Oh my goodness.
Those are mine. Those are my words.
Excited. Relaxed. And anxious. Well, all 3.
And Brit, yours?
Exhausted, thrilled, And exhausted.
Double up on that. Earl, yours.
Hungry.
Came from dinner. Pizza really good.
That's funny. So my three, I think, definitely number one would be emotional, because we've definitely gone the spectrum up and down from excited to happy, and moments crying for the smallest things too. And then definitely exhausted, because there's just been so much. Even today with having a free day, it's been packed full of everything else too, and maybe hopeful, because I definitely hope that I'm up there in the top 20 and be able to share what I have prepared with the community, and to share a lot more about me with the world.
Awesome. And if you had one message to share with the broader audience and the leather community that's watching right now, what is it you want to say? We'll start with you, Earl, and we'll work our way back.
We're starting with me. Definitely do I. If you've never done it before, it will be one of the best experiences of your life. And I know, like, last year was my first experience. I definitely see that I will be back every year.
And Brit?
I would just say the same thing. You have to experience this. It is something that not everyone gets to experience. So I'm very honored to be here and be part of it. And if you ever have the opportunity, go for it.
Excellent. And Dennis?
If you have the courage to compete for one of the local titles that take you on to this experience, chase it. You will learn more about yourself and your friends and your life and your community than you ever imagined. And you will be grateful for the help and the friendship and their standing by you and the little things that people say and do for you while you're here. It's really remarkable. So I encourage everybody, if you have the courage to do it, please step up and become a contestant.
Awesome.
It's worth it.
Very cool.
All the stress is worth it.
So
You're definitely.
I definitely will say only compete once. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
and then just go as an attendee?
Yes.
Yeah, and then come back and have fun.
Support the helping.
Exactly.
Because once you're this is part of a brotherhood, and we are now part of a legacy, whether we win or not. We're here. We're part of it.
So regardless
Forever.
with where you're at right now, what's a lesson that you're going to take home with you?
My clothes and my leather. That they're going to come home with me because I spend way too much on them.
It is good leather.
Yeah.
How was the vendor mart?
My wallet has made me stay away. No, it's beautiful. Everything you could ever want down there, and like if I might have to get a mortgage on my house now.
Stuff you didn't know you needed or wanted.
Well, that's the best is when you're just like,
Credit card.
I didn't know such a thing existed, and then you're like, I must have it.
It's the same with any fetishes you may discover while you're here for the weekend. You may not have known it existed, but now you have to have it.
The market is a dangerous place to
No.
go.
No.
Dangerous. I don't know. I spent several hundred today myself. So.
That's awesome. Well, anything else that you want to send to the hometown crew that's watching right now? Anything you want to say for everyone who's cheering you on?
If you can, and you want to tune in tomorrow night, by all means do so on the live stream. just for the sheer pleasure of seeing all these beautiful men in one place. And variety like you've never, ever seen in a group of men, for sure.
Well, I love all
I
the
would
content
like
you
to
guys have been
thank-
collecting and sending over too.
Oh, thanks.
All the support we've gotten from people has been very uplifting, and I just want to thank people for that.
Awesome. Earl, we've been also following you.
Oh.
Your posts, they've been awesome. And even though you're not
Thank
from
you,
Phoenix,
thank you.
we're still supporting you and loving you.
Yeah, I didn't know if we were just talking directly to Phoenix Walt or.
Yeah, we're just gonna like go like.
No, we love Earl.
Yeah, I love you guys too. I love you guys too. I can't wait to visit again. But yeah, my community's also been very supportive, and they had a watch party at the bar, and
Great.
and they're gonna do that again on Sunday night. So like they sent me videos of everybody like, cheering and screaming, and it was really awesome.
Nice.
And they also like I learned that since we're the first class to do the live streaming and everything, you know, we're making a bit of
that's
history right now. And the best thing, I'm going to give some advice: don't wear a cowboy hat on the stage because you're not going to be seen right here. And
Right.
They sent me videos on that. So I took it off for the second round last night. So that's why my cowboy hat was gone.
When I saw all the people wearing cowboy hats, I was like, yes.
Awesome. Well, we love you guys. Good luck with tomorrow. I assume that even if I ask one last time, Clough, you're not going to give us a little sneak peek of anything, right?
I will leave everyone who's watching this. Always pay good money for your bed and your boots because you'll always be in one or the other.
Oh, there you go.
Good advice.
Good
Excellent.
advice.
That's for you guys. I'm not giving up anything.
That was good advice though for us, Edith.
Right. I love it.
I like that. Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Would love to all of you. Good luck. I guess tonight's your relaxed night, which I can't imagine what kind of relaxing you're going to do with all those hot men in Chicago.
No. It's not relaxed. I have to make sure I can fit into my fucking leather for tomorrow.
Damn, I should have eaten that third piece of pizza.
Exactly. They
Oh,
take me
I
out
know.
the deep dish. It's kind of like.
Awesome. Thanks again, everybody. And I want to give a special shout out to AML. If it wasn't for them, this would not be possible. Nick, Mike, you guys have always pushed us to do more and increase what we can do. And that's why this live stream is even happening. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We love you. And with that, let's start the exit here. I also want to remind you that we do have Diamondback tickets for the Pride Night. Go to gayphx.com and fill that out. We'll be back tomorrow. Well, do we know what time yet? We don't know what time yet. I think early in the morning. We'll figure that out. Watch the socials. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody.